What does it take to become a champion? I'm James Anderson, and today I want to tell you the story behind one of the greatest surfing champions of our time, Layne Beachley. We're often told that champions have a desire to win, a desire to be the best. And in at least Layne's case, that wasn't really the truth. Layne Beachley grew up on the northern beaches of Sydney, where there was a rich surfing scene. And she became embedded in that scene, where she went out and surfed often. In her biography, she talks about how her teachers would talk about Layne's presence or absence at school as a surf report. That if Layne was present at school, there wasn't much surf. But if she was absent, that means there was surf up on the day. And so Layne was spending a lot of time surfing, pushing herself, trying to work out how to do things in the surf. And quite quickly, she grew to become one of the best female surfers on the northern beaches of Sydney, which made her one of the best female surfers in Australia and indeed the world. And she started winning championships. And at that point, she could have said, well, I'm the best, I've proven it, and just kept winning. But she didn't do that. She did something that was unheard of at the time, and she went and surfed against the men. She lost. At that time, male surfing championships were at this sort of standard and females were at this standard. But because she wasn't interested in being the best surfer, what she was interested in was being the best she could be. She went and sought out the challenges that would push her into her learning zone, push her to improve. And because other female surfers at the time weren't doing that, Layne wasn't just number one, she was number one and getting better, continuing to improve, continuing to grow. And as a result, she put such a gap on the other female surfers at the time that she dominated the sport for 10 years. Layne Beachley is a great example of someone with a growth mindset. Someone who wasn't out to prove that they were the best, but rather someone who was out to improve themselves. And of course, when you're on a path of constant improvement, becoming better than others is often the side effect. And so when we talk to our children about how we compare ourselves to others, how we look at ourselves, what we measure, what I want to talk about is this idea of trading in the idea of being perfect or best and pick up the idea of what I call improvementism. Because when we focus on getting better, when we focus on our improvement, on our growth, on our own change, seeking out the challenges that will help us grow, that's when we see ourselves become our best.